What if I told you one of the greatest heroes of the American Revolution became its most infamous traitor? We all know about Benedict Arnold, but most people only know one part of the story. Today we're going to get into 5 little-known facts that might change how you see him. Before he betrayed America, he actually helped to save it. I'm Rich, and this is Richard White Global. Let's get into it. Fact number 1. Benedict Arnold is considered one of the greatest early American commanders in American history. He was born on January 14, 1741 in Norwich, Connecticut. He was considered an aggressive and fearless leader. One of his first key roles was the Battle of Fort Ticonderoga, where in the middle of the night he led a band of soldiers against a British stronghold. This was considered one of the great early major wins for the Continental Army, and furthermore provided them with desperately needed artillery. This would have a huge impact later on at the Battle of Saratoga, which would turn out to be the turning point of the war. Benedict Arnold not only led his troops into battle, he fought side by side with them. Many experts and scholars claim that without Arnold at Saratoga, America might have lost the war. Fact number 2. He was seriously wounded at the Battle of Saratoga on October 7, 1777, when he was shot and injured in his left leg, the same leg that had been injured before. This became permanent damage and left him with a lifelong limp. Many historical scholars claim that without Arnold being injured at the Battle of Saratoga, Canada to this day very well may be part of the American territory. As an interesting detail, there is one monument at the Battle of Saratoga that honors Benedict Arnold for his service for the American cause. The design of this monument is called the loyal leg theory, by the designer stating that his leg and not the man remained loyal to the American cause. The monument only shows the left leg and boot of his injured leg. It also has an epaulet with 2 stars for his rank of Major General, and also the barrel of a howitzer cannon pointing down, which means military dishonor. The designer claimed the reason for the design is simple: because he became a traitor. Fact number 3. He became very disrespected feeling. This is where everything really starts to change. He becomes frustrated with the Continental Congress. He's passed over for promotions. Others are promoted ahead of him. He faced accusations of corruption. He felt targeted politically. He had other personal struggles as debt, injury, and his ego and pride had been badly beaten and bruised. So in 1779, the negotiations begin. The deal that was negotiated would be simple. He would be granted the rank of Brigadier General. He would be given 20,000 pounds sterling, which he would only ever receive 6,000 pounds sterling. He would receive 10,000 pounds sterling for property losses and a pension of 360 pounds sterling for life from the British government. This wasn't just about money, it was about respect. Fact number 4. His wife's influence. He married Peggy Shippen. She came from a strong and prominent loyalist family who had strong connections to the British officials. She had been linked to Major John Andre, with also rumors of a possible romance. Major John Andre, who would be tried and hung as a British spy for the negotiations in the Treason Act. So one of the major questions in history is, how involved was she? She also pleaded that she never had any knowledge of the turn and was never tried or convicted. Was she part of the influence, or was she just part of the connection? Fact number 5. The West Point betrayal. This is where it gets interesting. Arnold had been appointed commanding general at West Point as basically a peace offering to help settle his frustrations from past promotions that he had been passed over for. Arnold's plan would be a strategic betrayal. The plan would be to hand over the plans and George Washington's coming visit and his schedule of West Point, which would lead to the capture of General Washington and hopefully end the conflict. So why did West Point matter? It controlled the Hudson River, and it would also split the colonies in half. But luckily, the plan was exposed when John Andre was captured with the documents in hand. He was wearing plain clothes, which by the rules of war he was tried and convicted as a spy, and would later be hung for his crimes. Benedict Arnold had escaped to a waiting British ship by rowboat. General Washington actually tried to trade Major John Andre for Benedict Arnold, but the British refused because they didn't want to discourage any future defectors. Folks, this wasn't random. This could have changed the entire war. Going forward, Benedict Arnold joins the British Army, receives his rank of Brigadier General, and fights many battles against the American Continental Army that he became a traitor to. Later in life, he lived and died in London, England. He died with no military honors on June 14, 1801, and is buried at St. Mary's Church in London, England, where his tombstone reads, "Sometime general in the army of George Washington, the two nations whom he served in turn in the year's enmity have united in enduring friendship." There's an unsubstantiated myth that claims he was buried in his American uniform, with his final words being, "Let me die in this old uniform in which I fought my battles. May God forgive me for ever having put on another uniform." To Americans, he'll always be a traitor, and even the British never fully trusted him or never had any respect for him as well. And in the end, he served two countries and was not respected by either country. So in the end, what do you think? Is he a villain in history, or would he be considered a fallen hero? History remembers him only one way, but the full story is much more complicated, like history usually is. Let me know in your comments. Until next time, I'm Rich, and this is Richard White Global. Please like and subscribe.